Sabrina Carpenter's video for Taste shows us that mind control is real, and here's how. Sabrina Carpenter recently released a music video for her song Taste, and it has a pretty twisted story. The video incorporates voodoo, ritualistic murders, but on top of it all, the main theme and message is mind control. Co-starring Jenna Ortega, the video follows Sabrina, the protagonist, as she goes through the process of finding men and then ultimately being manipulated into ending their lives, which seems to go hand in hand with the actual song lyrics of Taste, which kind of talks about how if she's in a relationship with them, they'll be there forever. Jenna Ortega is seen fighting with Sabrina, and even at one point getting her eye poked out, which is a real interesting nod to that one eye symbolism we typically see in these kinds of videos. Ultimately, she ends up in a dissociative state, seeing Sabrina as her new friend and partner, and she even ends up offing her then boyfriend. While at the funeral for her boyfriend, she turns and smiles to Sabrina while the boyfriend's mother is crying right next to her. Beyond just desensitizing the audience to things like voodoo and murder and whatever else, what does this video truly reveal? Throughout the video, we can see that the main character is being manipulated, coerced, and ultimately taken advantage of, to end up being in what seems to be a loving relationship with this person. I'm reminded of a quote from a pastor named Randy Skeet who says that you can walk away from God whenever you want, but from the devil you have to be delivered. In Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 15 through 16, we read this. See, I have set before you today life and good, death and evil, and that I command you today to love the Lord your God and to walk in his way and keep his commandments, his statutes and his judgments, that you may live and multiply, and the Lord your God will bless you in the land which you go in to possess. We see that mind control is shown in this video in a very blatant and obvious way, and if you're watching the video, that's immediately what you can kind of pick up on. The disassociation, the coercion, being taken advantage of, that's essentially what mind control is. But sometimes mind control is way more subtle than we think, and especially in our lives and in the United States. Popular media conditions us all the time to think about ourselves, others, and God in certain ways. Too often we see that the good guy is actually the bad guy behind the scenes, and the bad guy is really noble and has noble characteristics. They often portray God in a similar way, that God's judgment, his love, it's not righteous, it's not true, it's not just, but instead it's the exact opposite. The reality is that while Satan manipulates us into his relationship, coerces us, tricks us, and deceives us, God would never manipulate us into a relationship with him, and he offered his son Jesus as a free gift of salvation that we could choose to accept or reject. So when I see videos like this where mind control is so blatant and obvious, and you have all these kind of conspiracy theories that go along with it, I'm reminded of the simpler fact that this is happening in real time, in real life, in much more subtle ways. And oftentimes I think that when the idea is pushed out there in a major way, and you see things like MK Ultra and all these other types of mind control theories that align with it, we kind of miss the main point that we're all being manipulated all the time, and there's really a battle for our soul going on. God's character has been misaligned since the beginning of time, since Cain slew Abel. And really, we can expect nothing different here. But the alarming part is that mind control is being normalized and pushed to the public. And when it's normalized and pushed to the public, we see it and kind of just accept it for what it is, completely unaware that it's impacting us every day of our lives. Not to mention that other things in this video, which are definitely not okay, are being celebrated and normalized. With everything happening in the world, it's a good reminder that we should draw close to Christ, become familiar with his word, and just be sure what he says is true. If we know the truth, we could always spot a lie. So as always, guys, God bless. Thank you so much for watching, and let's continue to light up Babylon.